So today I'll be trying out a new concealer from Revlon Cosmetics. This is their Photoready Candid Concealer. I'm not sure why, but this was a pain in the butt to try and find in Canada. For whatever reason, the foundation and the concealer were not released at the same time. They released the foundation way back in January, and then a few months later they released the concealer. I could not find this anywhere. The stores were clearly having some inventory issues. But I finally found it. I know I'm a little bit late to the game testing it out, but we're trying it today. So if you're new to my channel, I try out new concealers all the time. I have a huge playlist of other concealers I've tried out, and the link for that will be down below, or you can click the card right there. So this is being sold as a concealer that, according to Revlon's website, contains anti-pollution, antioxidant, anti-blue light ingredients. It also says correct anti-puff. Camouflages under-eye puffiness, bags, and dark circles infused with caffeine for a built-in pick-me-up, medium buildable coverage, and natural finish. Doe foot applicator, perfect for applying to delicate areas, contains no oils, parabens, synthetic dyes, and fragrance. So they give you 0.34 fluid ounces of product, and I picked this up for $10 Canadian. So I picked up the shade 15 Light Pale, which is the fourth lightest shade, and this concealer is available in 12 different shades. So let's take a look at the shade 15 Light Pale compared to some of the other concealers in my collection. First up, we have today's concealer, the Revlon Photoready Candid Concealer in shade 115 Light Pale. Next, we have the CoverGirl True Blend Undercover Concealer in the shade L300 Golden Ivory. After that, we have the Marcel Luminous Concealer in the shade Fair. Next, we have the Pixi Pat Away Concealing Base in the shade Nude. After that, we have the Milani Retouch and Erase Light Lifting Concealer in the shade 01 Fair. And last, we have the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Concealer in the shade N1-2 Fair. So if you're enjoying this video while watching it, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more about the Revlon Candid Concealer and how it wears throughout the day, don't go anywhere, just keep watching. So I'm also filming a review today for the Vichy Mineral Blend, which is why my face looks like this. I'll most likely be posting the concealer review first, followed by the foundation, but when I post it, I will link it up above if you want to check it out. So I also took a peek at the ingredients for this one, and they're similar to the Revlon Candid Foundation. There is cyclopentasiloxane, which is a really slippery silicone. There is aloe barbadensis leaf juice, which is aloe vera, which is good for cooling and soothing under the eyes. There's cucumber extract, which is another moisturizing, soothing ingredient. There is niacinamide, which helps improve the look of dark circles and soften fine lines around the eyes. There is an ingredient that has me a little concerned, and I apologize if I butcher the name. It's called Methyl Methacrylate Cross Polymer. And this is a texture enhancer, and it's described online as a porous polymer that absorbs excess of sebum or acne-producing oils. So that just screams to me that it could possibly dry out my already dry under eyes. It doesn't say anything on the packaging about this being a mattifying concealer. It does say it's oil-free though. Alright, I think hydrating my under eyes is in order. So I've moisturized my under eyes with a little bit of the Ordinary's Rosehip Seed Oil, which I'm hoping will counter any mattifying effects this concealer might have. So this is the packaging. I'm not really too terribly excited about this type of packaging, mainly because it makes it a little bit tricky to find the right shade. It comes with this very odd shaped doe foot applicator. I wonder what they were thinking when they designed that. It's definitely not scented, but I don't know, at first glance the formula appears a little thin. Okay, so I'm just going to start with this eye and we'll go from there. It's a very, very thin formula, and it dries kind of quick, so you have to work fast in order to blend it out. There's really not much coverage there at all, but it seems to cancel out the little bit of dark circle I have going on there. I'm gonna get the other side done. Oop, might have gone overboard there. I can definitely feel the cooling of the aloe and the niacinamide under my eyes, but I don't know. The coverage is okay for now, but the formula is very thin, and I don't see this being very long lasting. At this point, it doesn't appear to be dehydrating my under eyes, which is a positive sign, and there doesn't seem to be any creasing or caking happening either. The shade is okay, but it applied a little yellow for my liking. I usually prefer a brighter under eye. So I'm not going to be setting my under eyes with powder because with my dry skin, it ends badly. it always ends badly when I apply powder to my under eyes. So at this point, I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup. I'm gonna go on with my day, and I will see you in 5 hours and let you know how this has been holding up. So the time is 3:35. Let's get a look at things. You know, considering I wasn't that big of a fan this morning of this concealer, it doesn't look bad. It's still not my favorite, but it's not bad. I can see, and maybe I'm just being overly picky here, but I can already see it starting to wear away. This has been on for about 5.5 hours now. It's not caking or anything, which is awesome. And it doesn't seem to be clinging to any under eye dryness. I can start to see, like, I don't know if you see right in the inner corner right there. That is a big fat dark circle that's starting to expose itself. So right off the bat, this one isn't very long lasting. It has some things that I do like about it. It hasn't caked at all, it hasn't settled into any fine lines, and I like the finish of it, and it hasn't been dehydrating my under eyes, which is amazing. That was something I was very nervous about this morning. As far as longevity is concerned, it's not my favorite. Yeah, like I can see a little bit of dark circle there, and then I can see a really big one. Like that's my main one. It's starting to be noticeable, at least from my point of view. So that's where we're at right now. I'll check in with you later tonight. The time is 8:04. So let's take a peek at my under eyes and see how this concealer held up. So for 10 hours on, it doesn't look horrible. It definitely is starting to wear away, but then the coverage really wasn't that great in the first place. My dark circles to me look pretty noticeable. I don't need a full coverage concealer. What I need is more of a color corrector. I mean, this one's okay, but it's definitely not one of my favorites. The formula was just a little too thin for my liking. That being said, it's not gunking up in the corners or anything, and it's not like settling into fine lines. It's not dehydrating my under eyes at all. It's just not really doing much for me. So that being said, I was a little nervous when I first applied this that the mattifying ingredient would cause under eye dryness and dehydration. But as far as hydration is concerned, everything looked okay. I think the little bit of oil that I applied in the beginning did help out a bit. Overall, it's a very comfortable concealer. I just can't see myself reaching for this again. It doesn't look horrible. I just need a little bit more help in the coverage department. So if you have any other questions about this concealer, just leave them in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe before you leave. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!